So welcome to this quick video of the top 5 things you need to check before making a pull request for Dolphin flashcards. So you can see all the things here, but we will look at them in more detail in a second. So first of all, number 5, you need to update the init.py file. And so you can see this file here, and you can see the version number 5.4.0. And this is in the format semantic versioning format. So in the format major.minor.patch, where the right-hand number, so the 0, is the patch version. And you update this by 1 if you're making a bug fix, so doing something very small. Or maybe, for example, you're updating documentation. Now the middle number, the 4, is the minor version. And so then this is the most common thing you'll be updating. And most of the time, if you're making a fairly significant change, then you'll be updating this number. Then finally, for the left-hand number, for the 5, that's the major version. So if your change will break something, then you update this version. So for example, if you're changing an API method that isn't compatible with the previous changes, the previous version of code, then you need to update this left-hand number. So then that's in the format major.minor.patch. So then the next thing is to update the changelog. So you can see the changelog here, and all you do is you just create a new entry in the same format as the other entries, and you add your new version here, and you give a little explanation of the changes that you've made. Then the next step is to set the pull request title. So for example, looking at this pull request, you need to either add major or minor or patch at the start, depending on whether you've done a major change, a minor change, or a patch change. Then the next step is to decide the branch you're merging into. Or rather, you don't decide, because you always have to merge into the development branch and not the main branch, just because we're using a trunk-based development workflow, which basically just means we put changes on the development branch before merging them into main branch. And in the main branch, that's when they merged and they're synced with the server. And finally, then you need to give evidence and an explanation of the changes you made. So for example, in this example merge request, it's explained the changes that have been made. And if you're working on a UI change, so if you're changing something in the front end, then it's a good idea to give screenshots of what you've changed exactly. And so then in the summary, you can see the 5 things that you do here. You update init.py, you update changelog.md, you make sure the merge request title is correct, you make sure you're merging into development, and you make sure you provided evidence of or an explanation of the change you've made. And then finally, to help you remember, you can use this pull requester checklist, which has a lot of these things.